What's good, fam? Today, I'm going to break down the Dividend Blueprint. That's right. I'm going to give you a guide to understanding not only how dividends work, but the 3 tiers that you should put your dividends in. Now, for all my people out there looking to make generational passive income from companies that pay whole hard cash, which we know that's what dividends are, watch this video. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I would structure a dividend portfolio. It's important for us to have those now, y'all. So check it out. Before we get into the video, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I need you to get your pen and your pad. Because I always say, like, how you take notes is how you move through the game. Like the notes that you take, because you can look at this video, then you're gonna get into another video, then get to another video. And if you don't got no notes wrote down, you don't really know how to maneuver in the game. All right, so give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds to do that. Now we're gonna get back to it. So we all know that dividends are the cold hard cash that a company pays you for owning them. I always say that every company has to prove itself to be in your portfolio. When it comes to dividends, there is no difference. Now, the maturity level in these dividend companies play a key factor in how you build out your portfolio depending on who you are. The one thing we're going to do with all these dividends, no matter what, is dividend reinvestment plan. So I need you to go to your portfolio. I need you to go to whatever brokerage account that you're using, and you need to go to reinvestment of dividends. Let's say you got 10 shares. If you reinvest in your dividends, you'll see 10.5, 10.2, 10.1. What that means is the dividend is actually keep buying you a piece of a share until it gets you a whole share. So we gotta reinvest those dividends. And as we reinvest those dividends buy us more shares, and those shares do what? Produce more dividends that we reinvested in. They buy what? More shares, produce more dividends, and at the end of the day, it becomes passive income for us, right? And so we're gonna break the dividends down into 3 levels. The first level is our contenders. Now, I call these contenders rising stars. So these contenders, they're companies that have been not only paying a dividend, but they have been increasing the dividend for at least 10 years. Now, the key word in that, to me, is always increasing. I don't want the company to just pay me a dividend. I need it to be increasing that dividend every year. Because if they're increasing the dividend, that means the company is doing well, they're building revenue, they're building profits, and then they're taking those profits and saying, hey, we're gonna reward you for that. Now we know some of the newest companies that pay dividends are Meta, a brand new company that's paying dividends, right? I own Meta. I'm reinvesting my dividends with them right now, but they aren't yet a contender yet, right? So our contenders look at companies like Starbucks, right? Companies like AVGO, right? These companies have been paying a dividend for a little bit more than 10 years, for 10 years or more, right? But they still have a lot of growth. I'm gonna say that at the end. All right? So these companies are really solid companies that are paying that dividend out. I love Starbucks now because they got a CEO from one of my favorite companies, Chipotle, and he is just doing phenomenal with this brand, increasing revenue, paying down debt. He's doing a phenomenal job with this. So I'm actually going to build out a dividend portfolio and show y'all. Next on the list, we're going to have our Aristocrats. Now, the Aristocrats are companies that have been paying a dividend for 25 years and increasing it, right? So look at this. You got to go from paying your dividend for 10 years plus, but you don't get to the next level until you pay your dividend for what? 25 years or more. This is solid. So this is your Coca-Colas. I'm going to just do the ticker symbol. This is your Coca-Cola. Actually, Apple is here too now. Right, this is your Coca-Colas. This is your, oh, nope, not them no more either. This is your Coca-Colas. This is your Walmart. Right, these are the companies that's solid. So when I'm building out my portfolio for this, you're going to say, okay, I want these Aristocrats to play a role in my portfolio. And that's important for you. Understanding, okay, these are my growth dividends, and these are my stability and security dividends. You know, Coca-Cola, Walmart, these companies have been paying dividends for 25 years or better. They've been increasing the dividend, and that's key. I was about to put AT&T, but the reason why I had to cut them off is I thought about it during the pandemic. Guess what they did? They not only froze their dividend, they cut the dividend. Same thing with Disney, right? You don't want a company that is freezing the dividend or cutting the dividend, which is so dope about these brands right here. So what I love about these companies in the 10-year, remember these companies here, during the pandemic, we in 2025, during the pandemic, they had been in that 10-year cycle, right? Well, they didn't cut their dividend, right? They were under 25 years, they were in that 10 years or less, and they still didn't cut their dividend. These are the type of companies that we truly want. And they don't only cut it, but they increased it. You gotta put my guy Costco up here too, because Costco is a special company. Not only do they raise the dividend, but they also give a special dividend. Right, we'll put this right here. Right, a special dividend is a company that during hardships or when they have a lot of excess cash, they give us something for having it. So Costco gave a $10 special dividend, which was $10 for every for every stock that you own, they gave you an extra $10. That was phenomenal. You know what we use that for? Buy me some more shares. So we love companies like this. These are our growth companies. These are our solid companies. You're looking to these for growth. You're looking for these for security. And then we got our kings. So that's your Targets. That's your TGT. That's your 3Ms, right? These are the companies that are truly just 50 years or better of just paying that dividend, increasing that dividend, and making sure you good, right? So for me, these are the three levels of dividends. There's your Contenders, there's your Aristocrats, and then there's your Kings, 50 years or better. There's only a few companies on this Kings list, right? I call this Kings list generational passive income, right? These companies, they gonna pay that dividend no matter what. Now, here's what I want you to say. If I'm you and I'm building out this thing, I told you stay here long enough, I'll give you this, I'll show you this, right? This is what I would do. If I'm you and I'm like, okay, I'm looking out to build my passive income portfolio for dividends. The first thing I'm gonna do is, I'll be honest with you, for me, let's say I put my portfolio like this: 50, 50%, 30%, 20%. Or I'll go like this: 50%, 30%, I'll go 15, and I'll go 5. Now watch how I'm gonna lay this out. Because I want growth, I'm gonna look for companies with great balance sheets, which mean they're good fundamentally, right? But this gonna be my contenders. I will make my contenders the heavy part of my portfolio. Why? Because when you build another portfolio, yes, you want to build that portfolio out. You want to really just focus on the dividend, but you want growing companies that's growing that dividend. So I will go with the contenders right here at the majority part of it, right? But I'm going to show you something different. At this 30% part, I will go with my kings. And the reason being is because this the generational passive income. We know for a fact that they gonna send that bread. They gonna send that check, right? I want my contenders to be the foundation, but watch this. I want my kings to be right in the middle of the pack. I want that consistent money to be right, because these stocks also, that's kings, guess what? You're not getting growth out of that stock that much. Any company that's been paying dividends for 50 plus years, you're not getting that much growth out of that. The reason why I'm letting the contenders be the meat and potatoes is because not only am I going to get growth out of these companies from the brand itself, but I'm also going to get that increase in dividend, which I love. The king's gonna give me stability as making sure the passive income still coming, but that's not gonna grow the portfolio. And then here, I will go with my aristocrats because they're solid, they proven, right? But watch this, for the 5%, I will go with my people like Meta, that's really, really new to putting that dividend out, haven't reached that 10 point yet, right? Or I will find me watch this, I will put that dividend ETF right there. So the smallest part of my thing will go to the dividend ETF, something like the Chase Bank just dropped a new JEPI, right? One of them will go in at 5%. And that's how I would structure that ETF. 50% will go to my contenders because they're growing their dividends and they're growing companies. 30% will go to my kings, which puts them right in that meat and potato section. I will go my aristocrats because they are proven at the 25% range. And 5% of that will be the brand new companies that's putting out dividends. And I will go with ETFs right there. And that's how I would truly structure my dividend portfolio, man. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. I hope that this video helped you, right? And if it did, let me know in the chat that it helped you. Ask some questions in the chat so we can help you as well. And so we can come here right on the whiteboard and get things going, man. Listen, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share this video, man. And check us out each and every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on the Wall Street Looks Like Us on our network. Salute.